Welcome to the Steamfitters Event Center. We are so proud of our center and so happy that all of you showed up tonight. We appreciate it. We appreciate you taking your time up to be here. This is a special event that Energy Transfer wanted to put on, and we're happy and proud that they asked to do it at our facility. One thing I want to mention about Energy Transfer, about the partnership, but first, thank you to the building trades people that are here, to my instructors and officers that are here, the corporations and the contractors that are here. Pittsburgh Works, with Jeff Nober heads up. We work, labor unions, union companies, corporations, the gas companies, U.S. Steel. We work together for the region so that we can bring economic development here and try to keep our standard of living and make things right in Western Pennsylvania. So I think it's so unique what the Pittsburgh Works does, to where you've got corporations and labor unions sitting in the same room communicating on what can we do collectively better for the region. And Energy Transfer, no different than Range Resource, Mark West, Dave Callahan with the Marcellus Shield Coalition's good friend of ours, though where we're working together. People's Gas, Mike Humer's here tonight, working together to improve the area region. So Energy Transfer completed the Mariner East pipeline, and they want to celebrate it. And Chris Coop, who's here tonight with Energy Transfer, along with my good friend Joe McKinn, they wanted to put this together. So Joe, your time to shine. You're up.
All right, thanks, Kenny. Let's hear it for Kenny. I first thank everybody for being here tonight to celebrate the completion of the largest infrastructure project in the history of Pennsylvania. So everybody knows, yeah. So 10, 20 years ago, new pipeline gets built, no big deal, right? These things happen. Well, all of a sudden, pipelines became controversial. People started to stand up, try to oppose them. This proxy war over the growth in terms of natural gas from the Marcellus and Utica kicked off, and these projects became really hard. So in terms of the celebration and importance, it's a celebration, but really it's a thank you. It's a thank you to the individuals that are here in terms of getting something done that's so difficult and so big in scale. So just a couple of the numbers, when you look at, how big is this? Well, we installed more than 600 miles of pipeline across Pennsylvania. We essentially created the Pennsylvania Turnpike of natural gas liquids from Washington County all the way down to Marcus Hook, Philadelphia area. We employed 10,000 people, actually more than that, over the course of these 10 years, some for several years at a time. More than 30 million man hours. So folks in the trades, you look at things, and I remember starting in the refining industry, 1 million man hours was a massive deal, massive project. 30 million man hours. I mean, Kenny, that doesn't come around too often. These are generational projects. We invested billions of dollars, unofficially from a company standpoint, to complete Mariner, to complete the infrastructure at the other end of Marcus Hook. Probably invested about $9-10 billion. So it's spread out, but essentially this is a shale cracker sized project across the Commonwealth. One of the reasons, along with what our friends are doing at Range Resources, with the building trades, our friends at People's Gas in terms of locally distributing, why our energy costs are significantly cheaper than other parts of the country and certainly other parts of the world. We don't have those energy costs like my friend Mike has in California. We don't have those energy costs that our friends over in Europe have. And it's because we have this energy here. And the thing I wanted to do before I bring Ken back up is just a message too. So there's folks out there that want to be critical. They want to say, pipelines are a bad thing, construction, that's destroying the environment. You look at restored right-of-ways. Honestly, besides a yellow pipeline marker, you wouldn't have any idea in terms of the difference whether there was construction there or not. But the biggest thing besides a thank you is, not just a thank you, be proud. Folks that are met folks with the operating engineers tonight, Steamfitters and other trades, we really need to be proud because these are generational projects. Everybody doesn't get to do this, and one of the cool things with your job is ultimately building something, and something that lasts, something that has value, and something that makes the country and the Commonwealth better. So I think as a collective, right, when you talk about Pittsburgh Works and everybody else, I'm jealous of this region as somebody that's from the Southeast, because I think we're doing it so well out here in terms of labor, elected officials, companies, and coming together and really standing up for what's important for us. And really for that, I want to say thank you. And one of the things that Kenny, come back on stage. But what we have tonight is a token. Really, it's a thank you for everybody, but a pretty cool representation in terms of what was done. For Mariner East 1, we had steel come right from Monaco. We coated some of this from Durabond. So we actually had one of our contractors cut some of the pipe to create a memorial here. So I'm going to have Kenny do the unveil here. So hopefully this is Kenny, a token of our appreciation for the legislators and everyone else.
Yeah. What Joe mentioned is all about jobs. The people in this room want to create jobs, and look at the elected officials that are in this room. That's a show of respect for what we're all trying to do, and we recognize, and I want a warm round of applause for all our elected officials, our PA legislators, et cetera. How about a round of applause for everybody? We can work together with corporations and companies and labor unions, but eventually we got to go to our legislators and tell them what's on our mind. And people that are too far right or too far left, they're not about creating jobs. They got different agendas. So the people in this room and our elected officials, these are the people that working together with Pittsburgh Works, corporations and labor unions, where we can create jobs. So thank you for being here tonight. I'd love to take credit for the Mariner East pipeline. That's part of our international. United Association of Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, Steamfitters, Sprinkler Fitters, and Pipeliners. Pipeliners are the ones that run the pipelines, the main lines across the state, connecting western and eastern Pennsylvania, hopefully go to Marcus Hook. Eventually, we need a liquid natural gas plant over there, but there's no cheaper, better way to move any product than pipelines. So I'd like Chad Gilbert to come on up. Chad is the international rep that handles all the jurisdiction for the pipeline industry, and they run pipelines all over this country, and people don't know where they're at. Come on up, Chad. Please give a warm welcome for Chad Gilbert, United Association International Rep.
Hello, it's great to be here. It's great to see everybody. And I want to say thank you. Thank you all for helping us have a project like this, because these type of projects change lives. My grandfather was in the pipeline business. He laid main lines in Texas from the wellheads on to the gathering systems. My father worked on the Alaska pipeline, and I worked as a welder on the pipelines for 20 years before joining the International and going on to be the director of pipeline and gas distribution. The one thing I can tell you is, coming from a small town in Durant, Oklahoma, these type of projects change lives. They changed my life. They changed my mom's life. They changed my dad's life. I've testified 10 times on the Keystone XL. We lost that project, and it was a blow to our community. It was a blow to our workers. We're successful in this part of the country because we have great coalitions between our legislative, between our gas companies, and between our unions. That's why we're successful. We're successful when we're all together, we're all working hard together, and we're all pushing in the same direction. So always remember that we can accomplish these type of projects, and we can do it with skilled trades that are going to weld the pipe right. They're safe. You can see as you go out there, when we put these pipelines back in the ground and cover them up, the grass grows, it's productive, there's good places to shoot deer. There's good places to hunt. It does not hurt the environment. We do have that left wing of the far left guys, that fight us at every one of these projects. But, I heard one time, I was at one project, and it really bothered me, because a lady got up and she said, well, these are just temporary jobs. Well, there's not temporary jobs when your family's been doing it for 90 years. That's not a temporary job. The oil and gas industry has put food on my table my whole entire life, my father's entire life, and my grandfather, until he was accidentally killed on the project. These type of jobs help us tremendously, help people gain the middle class lifestyle that we all strive for. So the gas companies give us the jobs, the unions set the wages, the unions set the standards. And there's no better union than the union I'm sitting at right here, right now. You can tell by their beautiful facility. You can tell by their members that work so hard. You can tell by their business agents that are out on the field every day looking for new jobs for their membership. And you can tell by the greatest, probably one of the best business managers in the United Association. Let's give a hand to Kenny Broadband.
We want clean air, we want clean water, but we want to do it and use some common sense, because solar and wind is not going to generate all the power we need in this country. So a lot of times the Pittsburgh Works writes letters. You'll see names on it. You'll see my name on some, Tommy Melcher's. I'm sure not writing them letters. My man is. He keeps it all together. Pittsburgh Works, under Jeff Nober's leadership, bringing these companies together, the union companies, the corporations, the union leaders, that I think is so unique, and we're making so much happen. He's the guy that keeps it together. So Jeff, please give some remarks to the crowd tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. I'm the ghostwriter for Kenny and Tom, but the reality is it's what those guys believe and what they're about and what Pittsburgh Works is about. I can't reiterate strong enough what's been said already. I think the key issue here is, we fight a battle every day against the environmental forces and others that really just want to see the industry shut down. And any person with common sense listens to what they say and says, well, this is nonsense. This makes no sense at all. However, they're very good at what they do, and they get lots of money. Like from Michael Bloomberg, who just gave them $85 million to shut down the petrochemical industry. We need to push back against that, and we need to push back against it every day, and that's really what we try to do as labor unions, as corporations. We have at-large members that are in workforce development, come from other disciplines, economic development, and I would ask all of you here, go to our website. It's pghworks.com. Sign up for our newsletters. We send out information on a routine basis. We take studies that the environmentalists put out, and we go through them, and we debunk them where they need to be debunked. We call them out on their issues, so much to the point that they all now say that we're as bad as they are and that we cherry pick facts. So, we've joined them in that they think we're as bad as they are. And the one thing I would say is, you don't have to be all that observant to understand what's going on in the world today. Just look at Europe. It's not fake. It's real. Countries made moves with their energy that now in retrospect weren't great moves. But what exacerbates it is what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. And what we need to ask ourselves, and forget left, right, Republican, Democrat, do we want to be beholden to Russia, to China, to the Saudis for our energy? Do we want our allies to be beholden to them? So we have to stand up and fight this. Sometimes you sit there and say, well, there's no way that what the left wants could happen. Well, they've said that a lot of times in the past, and it always seems to happen. So we really need to fight that. I invite you all to, get to the website, join into our mailing list, be a voice for what we're trying to put out there. I appreciate it. Thank you.